thrill me.
This show is part of the Thrill Me Podcast Network. Experience more on Facebook and YouTube.
It's Review It Man, reviewing what he can. Movies are his jam, so let's get twisted, man. It's Review It Rob.
Hey yo, welcome to a brand new episode of the Review It Rob show. I am, of course, your host, Review It Rob, coming to you with a fresh review, spoiler free, of course. We're going to be talking about the film Flashback, debuted on Netflix over the weekend, man. So we're going to talk about that as well as some other films that I have fallen into or come across while doing the 31 days of Halloween / horror challenge, or just having fun thing that you do during this month of spooky. So we're going to talk about a couple of those things that I think you should check out as well, because I watched them and enjoyed them. But again, spoiler free review for Flashback, and I have some horror news for you as well as DC. Those are mandatory topics of discussion on the show, as well as a couple of other things going on around the realm of film, television, video games, and all that good stuff, man. So I appreciate you joining in to check out what we got going on this week. So without further ado, let's go ahead and jump into this week's review, which again is titled Flashback. It was released again this year. It is a horror and it is a short film. Did not know that going in. The film is 16 minutes long, and it is on Netflix. You can find it on that streaming service. Yoga teacher's life flashes before her eyes during a deadly home invasion, sending her on a desperate race through her past to save the man she loves. There are no Rotten Tomato scores, and IMDb has it a 5.2 out of 10. So, what were my thoughts on the film? Well, first off, surprise, because like I said, I did not know it was a short film going in. I did, honestly, going to be completely 100% honest with you, I didn't even really watch the trailer that came out for this. I saw it posted because I follow Netflix and all that stuff. So I saw it up there, and all I needed to see was the name Jed Shepard on it. You know, I saw that and I'm like, okay, cool, I'm in. You know, because this dude, during our dark times, as it's referred to now, of the COVID times, released or was part of a film that, you know, just captivated horror audiences with Host, the film that came out on Shudder a couple of years ago, and just, you know, surprised a lot of people, including myself, because I'm not a big fan of that found footage. Wouldn't even really call it found footage, but maybe a little bit. But like webcam horror genre of horror films that have come out, like that hasn't necessarily been my milieu, if you will. But I really honestly thoroughly enjoyed that Host film. I thought it was very well put together and brilliantly put together. So since then, if you can make me enjoy like something I don't necessarily normally enjoy, I'm like, okay, I'm going to be interested in what else this person has. So when I saw Jed was attached to this Flashback movie that was hitting Netflix, I'm like, heck yeah, man, let's go. Because, you know, Netflix doesn't have the best reputation when it comes to horror films. That's kind of an ongoing meme or joke on the internet that, you know, they just don't do it, right? But wanted to give it a go, of course, because of who wrote and directed and watched it, and have to be completely honest with you, thoroughly enjoyed it, the whole 16 minutes. Like, I thought it was very well put together. I think the writing was strong, the directing was strong. I think the performances of our actors and actresses in the film was strong. Like, it does a great job in its short amount of time to really deliver on the punches. Yes, it gives you that horror, but it also gives you thriller. It gives you suspense. It gives you drama. There's a love story in here, man. Like, it gives you all of these different aspects to you know, dive into while you're watching it, and mystery, you know, and all of this stuff, and you're just waiting to see how it's gonna unfold in this 16 minutes, man. So they did a great job with it. I don't have to overly review it, right, because it's a short film, but that was like my only takeaway from it, was like, man, I wish it was longer. Like, I would have gladly watched a full-length film of this, but not going to overly harp on it, because again, I did enjoy the whole short film for what it was. So if you want to check it out, that is on Netflix. It's streaming now. I think it was brilliantly done. It was fantastic. I gave it 5 stars on Letterboxd, because I am over there doing movie post and list and all that stuff, as you do. But yeah, definitely give it a check out, man. You got 16 minutes. You can check out this on Netflix. It is worth your time. And again, check out Host if you haven't seen Host. That is fantastic as well. Keep an eye on Jed Shepard, because dude is. Hopefully not butchering his last name, but if you're a listener to the show, you know I suck with names. So here we go. Also, for you host fans, be on the lookout for a fun little host Easter egg that is in the short film as well, because it is a good one. But yeah, I enjoyed it. It hits on every single aspect that it needs to hit on. Multiple different kind of fills, multiple genres of movie in one, even though it's just classified as a horror. But it is very well put together and very well done and worth your time, man. Go ahead and get it. Put that play. Go to Netflix. Hit that play. Enjoy it, man, because it is worth it for sure. So kind of a quick review there, but hey, you know, how much you wanted me to dive into something, especially when I'm not doing spoilers, for a short film. I think it fits. I think it fits. It works. But other than that, like I said, I've been doing the 31 days of horror slash Halloween fun thing. They call it a challenge to try to watch at least 31 movies in 31 days, so one movie per day. But sometimes I watch a lot of different stuff, including WWE, and I watch some football and all that stuff. So it's kind of some days are a little harder than others, so I kind of watch a bunch of movies in one day. But at the same time, I don't need a reason to watch horror films. I love them to death, so it's just a little fun kind of game to play in the month of October, and I've been doing that. And gotta be honest with you, man, there was a stretch where I was hitting some movies where I'm like, dang it, I'm not enjoying this one, because I was like following somebody else's list. Like they gave you movies to watch one per day, and I enjoyed some of them, but for the most part, there are some movies that just didn't hit with me. But lately I've just been kind of randomly picking movies now and having a good time with it, and picking movies that I haven't seen. Now that we're getting closer to the end of the month, I'm going to be throwing on movies that I've obviously seen before, because I want to watch them, and enjoy them. So I'll be throwing on the Chucky films and watching Chucky season 3, and the Halloween movies, and throw on some Conjuring films, the Rob Zombie movies, stuff like that, man. Really diving deep into this. And then, of course, some of the lighter fare with Hocus Pocuses and Casper, and Haunted Mansion is now on Disney Plus. So all kinds of flavors during the spooky time. Like we're all into different kind of movies, and we can watch all kinds of stuff and have a good time. But anyways, the movies that I recently watched during this recent stretch of these films, like really honestly ended up enjoying. So just told you about Flashback, really enjoyed that one. There's another movie I watched before that called Late Phases that was on Screenbox. Um, really enjoyed that, man. Like the full title is Late Phases Night of the Lone Wolf. But really honestly enjoyed this movie a good bit. Again, went in with no information whatsoever, just saw it, clicked on it, hit play, and I did enjoy it. It involves like a retirement home, and there's these grisly attacks happening, and there's a new person there that is a grizzled veteran who happens to just so happens to be blind as well, and just has to figure out the way through it and all that. Freaking Ethan Embry's in it. Of course, if you know me, I love That Thing You Do. So Ethan Embry, was in that, and I was like, cool, man, that's awesome, and I enjoyed it. I thought it was a good film, so that's worth checking out there. I saw this other movie called Look Away, which had like at first I thought it was like a Bloody Mary kind of film, because it has to deal with looking into a mirror, and then like the personality inside the mirror wanting to come out and taking over, and sinister and dark things happening and all that stuff. But it's not a Bloody Mary film. But good movie. Like good movie. I watched this one on, I want to say Netflix. I think I watched this one on Netflix, and again, very well put together movie. It hits on the good aspects. It's got some good performances in it. We had some solid actors with Jason Isaacs in it and Mira Sorvino in it, and then it's my first time running into India Easley, I guess. It's kind of close to my last name. So it would be Easley, but I thought it was very well done, and it hit so many different aspects. It hits a very good creepy vibe to it, and mystery and all that stuff, and interesting transformations and how this is gonna go, and it gets you on your edge of the seat, and we're like, heck yeah, and you're like, oh no, kind of moment. So Look Away, definitely worth your time to check that out. The Funhouse Massacre, a movie that I ended up checking out on Screenbox. The next two movies are gonna be from Screenbox. I watched that just because I saw the poster art for it, right? The movie art, like old school vibes, man. I'm a little older. I don't know how the age of all of my listeners, but it used to be this place called Blockbuster that I used to go to, where you kind of just walked the horror aisle and you looked at the cover of the horror movie. You're like, ooh, I want to watch that. That's kind of what I did with with this movie, The Funhouse Massacre. I guess you can do that with streaming services too. You can kind of like stream through there and look at the covers and be like, I'm gonna watch that. Um, I did that with this, and I was hoping for like Hellfest vibe because if you know me, I love Hellfest to death. It's one of my all-time favorite horror films, comfort horror movie, if you will. Um, it's in my top five favorite horror movies of all time. Is it? No, it's not. No, it's not. But it's in my top 10. But I, thoroughly loved that movie. So when I was thinking Funhouse Massacre, I'm like, cool. Hopefully something like that. Haunt, that I recently watched as well, which I did enjoy, not as much as Hellfest, but I did enjoy. So I was hoping for something along those realms. And to be honest with you, watching the Funhouse Massacre again, enjoyed it. Freaking hilarious, but hilarious in a good core horror comedy way. Um, the gore is there. It's very gory. It's very insane. It's very intense. And it does have the Hellfest vibe to it, which is interesting to me because, of course, I saw Hellfest first. So I call it the Hellfest vibe. But this movie came out 3 years before Hellfest did. So um, people who made Hellfest, I'm sure, maybe, or I'm not sure, but I have a feeling they probably saw this or just coincidence. But there are some moments where you're watching Hellfest where you're like, oh, this is when I was watching the Funhouse Massacre. I'm like, oh, this is similar to Hellfest, and which is fine with me because again, love Hellfest to death. So, and you're gonna run into that with movies, and you're gonna run into that with music. Like, there's always gonna be similarities and things. It's not copying necessarily. It's just similarities. But sometimes copying does happen, and that's called plagiarism. But we're not here to talk about that right now. But I really enjoyed Funhouse Massacre. That's a film that I can easily see myself watching every single year during this time of spooky season and Halloween and horror and all that stuff where I'm like, all right, cool, spooky season, it's horror time, let's throw this movie on and watch some crazy haunt massacre nonsense go on, so Funhouse Massacre is worth checking out. And the last movie I watched was Open Windows, which I don't think is necessarily a horror film per se, but it was on Screambox, so I kind of included it in here just because of that reason. But Open Window stars Elijah Wood, who we all know is a fantastic actor. Also has Sasha Grey in it, who is turned to a different kind of acting, and it's also on Peacock. But I watched this on Screambox, and I thought I thought this one was good as well, man. It is classified as a crime movie. Crime, Crime. Kind of sound like I said cry movie. It's not the piano or the crying game, but crime. But mystery thriller aspect in there as well. So, thriller, horror, they're always kind of closely attached to each other. So I kind of get it now. But again, this kind of goes back to what I was talking about earlier with the film Host, where I'm not a big fan of like these webcam horror movies, which is basically what this movie is. Open windows. Nah, you get it. But very well done, very well put together. It keeps you interested right from the get-go. I mean, it's a crime movie, it's a thriller movie, and it's a mystery, and you're trying to figure out what's going on. And you're here and you're there, and you're like, oh, this person's behind it. Nope. Oh, you're this person's behind it. Who's behind it? Kind of deal, right? I thought it was very well put together. I thought it was very well done. Again, Elijah Wood, fantastic actor. Sasha Grey does a good job in the movie. Everybody is pretty solid in the film. It's got a good mystery aspect to it. The webcam found footage kind of thing doesn't bother me in this movie by any means. So yeah, check that out as well. If you get Screambox, man, Screambox isn't running for all that much a month, and it's got some interesting titles on there. It's got titles I wasn't expecting on there either. I watched last movie I watched was The Phantom of the Opera from 1925. Yeah, and I was not expecting to see that on there, but it was there. I watched it, and I always enjoy those classic Universal monsters, man. So overall, jumping in there real quick, all those films felt like a good run, and now that we're getting towards the end of the month, hopefully to continue a pretty good run, because I'm still going to try to find some like random movies and take advantage of Screambox because I don't ever use it enough. I also have Shutter. I should probably jump into Shutter a little bit and see what's going down over there, but all fun to be had here. Worth the time, worth the fun, and hope all of you are having a good time with the season as well, and hopefully maybe you're doing the 31 days as well. Because it's good times, man, for us horror people. We love this time of year. I mean, again, we watch horror year round, but this time is just a different kind of special. All right, going from there, let's just go ahead and go into horror movie news with kicking off with news or rumors around something that is guaranteed to be one of my all-time favorite films. Probably my favorite film of the year when this comes out, depending on what else comes out the years, of course. But this is one of those movies that I just know for a fact I'm going to love with all of my heart. And of course, I'm talking about Guillermo del Toro's Frankenstein movie. We know that Andrew Garfield, who is my all-time favorite actor, is going to be in this movie. Mia Goth is in it, who's easily becoming one of my favorite actresses. Oscar Isaac, fantastic actor. We know that they are in it as well. There's some other casting going on around there, but of course, there's an actor strike going on right now, so we have to wait for more things to happen there. But we know those three are a part of it, and we've learned through reports. Now, again, take this with a grain of salt because it hasn't officially been announced. But apparently, Oscar Isaac will be playing the monster, so Frankenstein's monster. Mia Goth will be playing the bride, so the bride of Frankenstein. And Andrew Garfield will be playing the doctor, Dr. Frankenstein. I can't wait to see Andrew Garfield say, "It's alive! Alive!" Can't wait to. Oh my god. Andrew Garfield is going to freaking own that, man. That's going to be the greatest gif of all time. Like, it's going to be up there. Like, that's going to be incredible. Because if you know Andrew Garfield, you know how fantastic of a performer he is, and that is going to be awesome. Mia Goth is the bride. Oh my god. Oh my god, that is gonna be incredible. Oscar Isaac as freaking Frankenstein's monster, dude. Give it to me now. I want it. I want it now. Of course, we have to wait, but oh my god, it's gonna be so good. And you got Guillermo behind it, who freaking loves Frankenstein. Oh, this is gonna be this is gonna be insanely incredible. Can't wait for that to happen. Let's see other news. RL Stein says Netflix will probably make more Fear Street movies. RL Stein, of course, who is behind Goosebumps, right? And Goosebumps now has a show over there on Disney Plus, which I need to check out, and I'll get back to you eventually with my thoughts on that because I grew up reading those books, grew up watching the show, so I love Goosebumps and Fear Street, which came out a couple years ago. Three separate films that were released on Netflix in I think a week apart, right? All fun, enjoyable films, and it was a lot of talk whether it be at Halloween Horror Nights or not, and all that stuff. But yeah, I think it would be a pretty good move for Netflix to jump back into that realm and do some more Fear Street stuff because again, they worked very well the last time. So let's go ahead and jump back in there and get that going and have a good time with that. So yeah, hopefully they end up doing that. Let's see, a couple of releases to discuss here. The Nun 2 will be hitting Max, formerly known as HBO Max. The Nun 2 will be hitting that on October 27th, 2023. It is currently on digital for you to rent if you want, but it will be on Max October 27th, 2021. Rent or buy the movie. But again, streaming on Max October 27th, so this week. The Nun 2 is also, as far as physical media, if you're a physical media collector, will be hitting 4K and Blu ray on November 14th. A week later, Saw X will be hitting digital and will be on home video on November 21st. Wait, hang on, that is not fully correct. Um, Saw X is available now online for rental. And so yeah, Saw X is available now. As far as like the digital version of it, it is available now. So if you're waiting to see Saw X, you can see it now, or you can wait till the physical, or you want to buy the physical copy. It'll be out November 21st. There you go. Let's see, a couple of horror video game talks here. Starting off with the Texas Chainsaw Massacre game. You're still playing that. I haven't heard much out of that lately, but Up, Down, Down did just do a live stream of that again. So people are still playing the game, and there is a DLC coming for the Texas Chainsaw Massacre game on October 24th, 2023, so the same day this releases. The full lineup of the DLC will be Leatherface, which is $15.99. Full lineup of update content dropping in time for Halloween includes Leatherface, $15.99, Victim outfit packs, $4.99, Slaughter Family Blood Skins pack, $4.99. I don't know why I said that like I was William Shatner. Outfit pack bundle, $19.99. The outfit pack bundle will include all of the Victim outfit packs and the Slaughter Family Bloody Skins pack. The Leatherface skin, that is Greg Nicotero's Leatherface, will be available $15.99, and the premium DLC pack includes the new mask and outfit skin, a brand new signature kill, and exclusive saw with custom sound. So if you're still playing that game, you got some DLC there for you. Greg Nicotero, you're going to want that Leatherface, man. Other video games to talk about, maybe not as horrific, but definitely spooky, is Ghostbusters Spirits Unleashed. They have announced the Ecto Edition that is hitting Switch. And for the people who play it on PlayStation 5, PlayStation 4, Xbox Series, and Xbox One, the update will be free for current players. Again, it's called Ghostbusters Spirit Unleashed. The Ecto Edition will include a new story expansion, new ghost types, 2 new maps, and more. The story expansion adds several new story acts to the narrative progression of Spirits Unleashed, including a new adversary to battle. To access the new content, all you have to do is level up your character. So, if you're having some fun with the Ghostbusters game out there, there's some more fun for you to have just in time, again, for Halloween. So there you go, man. That is some horror, spooky news for you. Jumping from there, we're going to jump over to DC real quick with normally with the DC stuff, it has to do with James Gunn being asked a question on social media. James Gunn was asked, does Peacemaker Season 1 and your Suicide Squad match the style and tone you're going for in the new DCU? Will it shift much from project to project? To which James Gunn responded saying, quote, it will shift from project to project and will reflect the unique sensibilities of the filmmakers involved, end quote. Yes, that is exactly what I want to hear them doing over there at DCU. Don't force feed and make everything look exactly the same and be exactly the same. Yes, we are going to do a connected, continued story, but all this stuff should not look and feel exactly the same. All right, Batman is a completely different world in Gotham than, Superman is in Metropolis, right? It should not be the same. Those two are different worlds from the mascara. Like, all this stuff should not be the same, right? So, yes, I know we're doing a connected story. I know we're connectedly building things together, but we should not, in any means whatsoever, be all the same style. So, yes, please, so happy to hear that project to project it will shift, and that's the way it needs to be. Because not a shot at Marvel. I know I'm not the Marvel guy, but all their films feel so alike. Like, they feel so alike. There's not much difference in a lot of those movies. So it's like I don't, kind of feeling while watching them. So glad to hear this. So glad to hear that they're doing that over the DC. And again, I'm happy to and excited to see what James does. When the DCU starts again. We're still, technically in a different area. The DC timeline is ended with the Flash, and the DCU timeline doesn't start until Creature Commando begins. But we still have Aquaman coming out at the end of the year, which is the final film of the DCEU, and then we are in new territory with DC movies from there on. So, all waiting time, and of course, again, the actor strike is going on. Hopefully, that can all get figured out at some point in time. Yes, I'm loving seeing John Cena in WWE, which is something I thought I would never say, but love seeing him there. It's great to see him there. Can appreciate him now and love his passion and his excitement and how hard he's working over there now. But you know, the actor strike needs to end. And as soon as that ends, he immediately goes back to Hollywood. That probably ends any chance we have with The Rock being at WWE. Who knows? But we need the actor strike to end. There's people who need to work and they're missing out on work, and we just, it's got to get back to going. Thankfully, the writer strike ended. Now we just need to get things correct on the actor side over there, man. So hopefully that gets figured out at some point in time, and we can get more info and more news and more stuff to talk about here, because we are just waiting. But again, there's more important stuff than our news going on here. So hopefully that gets all figured out. But yes, I'm excited. Obviously, love DC. I can't wait to see what they got going on over there. All right, which is pretty much the DC news. Again, we don't have much to go off of other than that, and Aquaman releasing later this year. Let's see, other stuff going on. Christopher Nolan's Oppenheimer will be hitting 4K Ultra HD Blu-ray and DVD and digital on November 22nd, and will be coming with 3 hours of special features. Good on him, man. I still haven't seen that movie. Also, have not seen Barbie, so I did not indulge in Barbenheimer earlier this year. But hey, we will see. What ends up. I will see it eventually. I do say that, but I still haven't seen Tenet either. Uh-oh. I just remembered I haven't seen Tenet. Okay, eventually we'll see that, but we're in the middle of spooky season. We're not watching Tenet right now. But there you go. If you've been waiting for Oppenheimer physical releases and digital releases and all that stuff, there you go. November 22nd, just in time for Thanksgiving. And last thing to discuss here, it looks like, again, not a lot of news to really go over here. James Wan's Atomic Monster will be producing a live action version of Gargoyles, the beloved 90s animated show. Gargoyles hitting a bit of a comeback. They also had a remaster of their video game that is being released by Disney. Disney does, they've done that a couple times. They did it with The Lion King. You can see my one gameplay of that. Meant to do more, but I have not. So we got that. We had a remaster of Aladdin and Jungle Book, and now Gargoyles is on the way. So I might already be out. I love this. I love that they're remastering stuff. Jurassic Park games are being remastered over here, man. It's a fun time. It's interesting, fun time to say the least. But yeah, Gargoyles getting a live action version of Gargoyles. Doesn't say if it's a show or a movie, but either way, I will gladly take that. So that is good stuff there, man. Is that really it? Is that all the news we have? Is there anything else I can find real quick? Not seeing much here. Of course, Taylor Swift dominated box office again. The Exorcist Believer just hit a milestone by passing 100 million, so good for you, Exorcist Believer. You can see my review on that earlier. I loved it. Let's see, anything else here to talk about? Taylor Swift heavily rumored to be playing the Dazzler in Deadpool 3. I'm sure that'll happen because she is friends with Ryan Reynolds, of course. Let's see. I'm trying to look, see if there's anything else for you. All right, couple of quick hits here. Blumhouse is still moving forward with a Purge 6 after being inspired by the Purge experience at Halloween Horror Nights. The Forever Purge hinted at a world where violence continues beyond the 12-hour period, setting the stage for the 6th installment. Frank Grillo's character will be back. We did mention this before on this show, but it's kind of been in limbo since then, so that is still happening. So another Purge film is on the way. Also, speaking of Blumhouse, they said that the Spawn movie is still in the works as well. So still got your Spawn movie in the works, and it will have the Blumhouse twist on it, whatever that means. I don't know what that means. I watch a lot of Blumhouse movies. I do not know what that means, to say the least. But yeah, it's cool they're doing a superhero movie. Let's see, anything else here? Anything else? Well, I'm not really seeing anything else here, man. So that's gonna do it for this episode. This week, Five Nights at Freddy's will be hitting. Speaking of Blumhouse, that releases this week in theaters and on Peacock. So if you want to go check that out, check it out. I will be watching it, and that will be next week's review, man. I haven't decided if I'll see it in theaters or on Peacock yet. We'll see how time goes and how opportunities arise or what. I don't know what I'm talking about. But I will be seeing the movie nonetheless, for sure, man. So that is going to do it for this week's episode. Again, Flashback, worth checking out. Short horror film, but also hits love story, drama, suspense, thriller, all that stuff, man. Worth checking out. Is over there on Netflix. 60 Minutes. Other movies to give a go. Late Phases, Funhouse Massacre, Open Windows. Those are all on Screenbox, and Look Away, that is on Netflix. I enjoyed all those movies. So good movie week, man. Hope to continue with the movie weeks. Good news stuff going on here, and all that stuff, man. So that'll do it for this week's episode. Appreciate you all joining in and listening to the show. Please hit that like, subscribe, and share for this show as well as the Throw Me Podcast Network. We always got some fun jams going on over there. But that'll do it for this week's episode. As always, appreciate you taking the time to listen to me and ramble on this show. I have a great time doing this show. I love movies, and I hope it comes across through this show. But that'll do it, man. Appreciate you all, and as always, like to leave you with a little positivity to help you get through the day. So thank you, and as always, remember that happiness can be found even in the darkest of times if one only remembers to turn on the light. Talk to you all next episode.